Hello everyone and welcome aboard the Coal Train. Party composition is always an important factor to any group of adventurers seeking to set out into the world of Dungeons & Dragons, but today we're going to be talking about one archetype that I can't stand to see. Sit back and enjoy the ride as we take a look at Healbots. Now, if you're a veteran of Dungeons & Dragons, then you'll know exactly what I'm referring to when I say Healbot. But if you're just getting started, then the term may be a bit unfamiliar. For those of you who aren't familiar with what a Healbot is, essentially it's a party member who stands around the battlefield and when their turn comes up, they say, "Is anybody hurt? No? Alright, I passed my turn." Oh, okay, well, let's just dive right in. So let's start off from the player perspective. Now, when we're all sitting around the table in that sweet session 0, people are going to start calling out for roles or archetypes. Someone grabs the rogue, someone else grabs barbarian. Before you've got the chance to say anything, somebody else grabs wizard. Yeah, that's fine, you say to yourself. I wanted to play as a badass fighter anyway. But then, just as you're about to call out fighter, you notice that your party members are all looking at you expectantly. If this is your first time playing, then you might not recognize that look. Others of us might immediately recognize that look as the silent, "You're gonna be a cleric, right?" look. If you find yourself in this particular situation, here's what I want. No. Here's what I expect you to do. Look at your party, give a knowing nod and a confident grin, maybe even a thumbs up, and call out fighter. Look, to be honest with you, yeah, having a healer is useful, but you should never, under any circumstances, play a character that you don't want to play. How are you going to have fun and buy into the game if every week or every other week or whatever it is, you know you're going to have to sit down for 3, 4, 5, maybe even more hours and just be this character that you never wanted to be in the first place? If you want to be a healer, then by all means be one. My claim in this video is not that healers are pointless. Healers can be a very big addition to party comp. My point is that being a healbot is pointless.
But Christian, how are you going to be an effective healer if you don't save your spell slots for healing? What happens when you run out of spell slots when the party needs healing the most?
The answer to that is, you've got a different problem, and you should probably watch my other video about conserving your spell slots. That video may or may not be out yet. If it is, gravy. If not, just be patient. I promise it's coming. My other answer to that is this. If you are frequently in such desperate need of healing, then try changing up your tactics. Maybe it's not such a great idea for you to charge headlong into that group of 5 kobolds alone. Maybe you should let your rogue lead the group into dungeons so that they can detect traps. If you're on the verge of death so frequently, then A, it's probably your fault and you should switch tactics, or B, your DM is out to get you and you might want to have a talk with them. If there aren't healers in the party, then try to buy potions. If you can't find potions, then at the very least, try to get your hands on some healer's kits. Then, at least if someone goes down, you can forego a medicine check and just make sure that they're stable and not just gonna roll a natural 1 and get 2 death save failures and shit, we're gonna die, oh god, TPK. Just stabilize, move on. Also, make sure you're using your hit dice during short rests. They're there for a reason. But most importantly, communicate with your DM to find out if they can work with the group to provide some type of alternative to magical healing. Maybe you can do a medicine check to craft poultices or salves that offer the same amount of healing that a potion would, but since it's not magical healing, there are some effects that might persist. The point is that as a player, you have options. Explore them. Get creative. Now, from a DM perspective, there are so many ways and reasons to avoid having just a dedicated healbot in the party. The Dungeon Master's Guide even provides a healing alternative variant rule to parties who have few or no characters with magical healing. The variant rule in question is on page 266 of the Dungeon Master's Guide and is called Healing Surges. I did the homework for you and found it, so you have no excuse. Healing Surges reads, and I quote, This optional rule allows characters to heal up in the thick of combat and works well for parties that feature few or no characters with magic healing, or for campaigns in which magical healing is rare. As an action, a character can use a healing surge and spend up to half of his or her hit dice. For each hit die spent in this way, the player rolls the die and adds the character's constitution modifier. The character regains hit points equal to the total. The player can decide to spend an additional hit die after each roll. The character who uses a healing surge cannot do so again until he or she finishes a short or long rest. With a short rest, a character regains hit dice equal to his or her level divided by 4, minimum of 1 dice. For a more super-heroic feel, you can let a character use a healing surge as a bonus action, rather than as an action.
But Christian,
You're saying, and by the way, stop interrupting me. Jeez.
doesn't that step on the toes of the fighter? That's basically their second wind.
It is basically the same as the fighter's second wind ability with a couple of very important differences. Fighters can second wind as a bonus action from level 1. Using this variant rule, the option isn't even available to the party until level 2 because you can only use, quote, up to half of your hit dice, which means that at level 1, when you have 1 hit die, you can't use a healing surge. The second argument against this rule is probably that allowing it might devalue the fighter's second wind. That argument is absolutely ludicrous. It doesn't devalue their ability any less than a healbot or potions would. If anything, it makes your fighter even better and more self-sufficient because now they have even more healing. On the contrary, I'm of the opinion that it would be a waste if the fighter used it because statistically, it is far less efficient to heal than it is to kill the thing hurting you. So now your fighter has just wasted their attack to heal themselves a bit more, but they're gonna turn around next turn and get hit again, and so congratulations, you've accomplished nothing. But, and this is the important part, they feel like they've done something useful for themselves. And DMs, that illusion, that thought is the difference most of the time between your players having so much fun and just feeling like slogging through a death swamp of bullshit. Now, as a DM, I can understand why you might not want that extra healing to happen, and so what I usually do in my homebrew games is that I just sort of make potions more easily available. It doesn't change much balance-wise, and trust me, there's nothing better than watching your party waste all the gold you just gave them on potions instead of better weapons and armor. Besides, would you rather risk ruining the fun of one of your friends, your party members, just so that their party has a healer? Or make some concessions and let them play what they want to play and just provide them with enough healing? And also, there's a secondary benefit for us DMs here, in that allowing more potions to be available makes it really feel justified to throw big-ass monsters at them. And when they're like, why are we fighting this? You just go, well, I mean, you got potions. You should probably use those potions, am I right? Okay, look, I've just been rambling at this point, but this is what this topic does to me because I fucking hate Healbots. It's a fucking waste of time. But look, this is my point. If you're gonna be a healer, by all means, do it. But please, for the love of God, don't be a Healbot. If you're a cleric or a druid or bard or whatever, you've got cantrips. Fuck, even if you're not going to use a cantrip, you're holding a weapon. I'm almost positive you're holding a weapon. Just use it. Don't do nothing. There are so many things available. The help action to give your rogue or fighter advantage. Cantrips, melee attacks. If you don't want to be in the front lines meleeing things, you have a short bow or a long bow or a crossbow. Just utilize your action economy, because if you're not only are you going to just be bored, the DM is building encounters based on the thought process of what's a fair, tough challenge for 5 level 4 characters to fight against, not what's a fair, tough challenge for 4 level 4s and a healbot to challenge. A coal train can keep going as long as it's got the fuel to burn. And the supreme Christian coal never stops burning. So I can stay on this track forever. You guys Let me know what you think about Healbots, healing alternatives, everything we've talked about today. Go ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. If you've got some interesting alternatives that you use, let me know. I'd love to see them. If this video helped you out in any way, or you thought it was entertaining, or anything like that, do me a favor and just give me a thumbs up. Let me know I'm doing a good job. If you want to be alerted when I release new videos, subscribe and press that bell notification. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been your conductor, Christian Cole. Farewell for now, and until next time, keep on chugging.